Yeah, are you? I would say I would put you up there with Murdered by Crowns and Milk Bar TV and a couple other people have been really relentlessly exposing the Tate brothers. So for people who don't know, who are the Tate brothers? How did they get famous? And what do they do?
Yeah, so the Tate brothers, they're two former professional kickboxers, and uh, I'd say there's two very different sides of the Tate brothers. There's the public social media side and what we know about what they do. So, um, as far as the social media side, over the last couple of years, I would say over the age group of, say, teenage boys through to young men, early mid 20s men, they would be the most, I would say, like unprecedented in the access to the percentage of that age demographic in the world of young guys. They really successfully hijacked social media. So even before you get into their message and what they are as guys, I think this is very important for people to understand as far as just the reach that they have, um, especially for people who my age and older, for example. I know a lot of my friends my age are like, "What are you worrying about this TikTok people for?" But it's very important to understand the scope and the reach of that these guys have had.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say TikTok. Do they have? I know that Andrew Tate has given interviews and said, "Oh no," especially I'm thinking of the one to Pierce Morgan where he says, "Actually, I have I think it's that Milk Bar TV's video where he's saying, "Oh, it's all about TikTok. It's all about TikTok." Does he have a big
Oh,
influence on TikTok?
okay, there's a lot of things going on there. So firstly, he blew up. The reason he got so famous so quickly was very much due to social media platforms and probably mostly TikTok, um, because he had a lot of young guys and young boys in the programs that I believe is a illegal pyramid scheme, just pushing out content, um, in a desperate attempt to make money from affiliate links. So he really took over TikTok in early 2022, when suddenly he just started showing up on all of our social media feeds, and everyone was wondering who the hell is this guy. As far as what he's talking about, the case being about TikTok, um, so these people are the most absurd liars. Really, I can't think of anyone more ridiculous as far as the lies that they tell. So these people, to clear the record, that they're charged in Romania, for starters, with rape, human trafficking in continuous form, meaning numerous times and multiple victims, and forming an organized criminal group. So if you look at the court documents and their methods that they use, they would often use TikTok, um, for one, to recruit, to break in new girls that they were looking to push into sex work, and they weren't ready to take their clothes off and all these things. So they'd use TikTok for that, and also they would use TikTok to, for example, the girls that are working on OnlyFans would jump on TikTok and try to get clients to move across to the OnlyFans that way. So what they're going around, these two guys are going around saying in interviews constantly at the moment is that, oh, we just told our friends what times are good to post on TikTok, and now the police are trying to say that's human trafficking, which is just absurd. It's so there's a lot of like dark elements to this story, but there's a lot that I just can't help but laugh at. It's again, the lies are just really comical.
So just to make clear, the Tate brothers haven't had a trial. They're being held. They're out basically on the American equivalent of bail in Romania, is my understanding. But they also have charges, new charges, which we're going to talk about in a second, from the United Kingdom, which are very similar to the Romanian charges, strangely. But the reason that I think that I think it's fair to say the reason we're so sure that the Tate brothers, I'm coming at this with such a position of guilt, is because they videoed. I mean, Andrew Tate has made videos teaching this method, teaching how to recruit women, how to traffic women, and admitted all this, admitted his past, and then sometimes he'll deny it. And he's been really propped up by our right-wing media, and we'll get into that maybe a little bit later. But so for people out there saying, well, this is really unfair to come at this with a position of guilt, I've never seen so much self-snitching in my life.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's we know so much about these guys just from what's come out of their own mouths, and we know that they've been working in the, say, online sex industry. So initially webcam, and then once OnlyFans became prominent, the move towards that. So, but they've been in this industry, in this kind of work since 2012, so well over a decade. And then we're talking maybe 2019-ish, so maybe 5 years ago, Andrew himself, so he sold a course that he called the PhD, which stands for Pimping Hose Degree. And he was literally just video recording, teaching all these young guys who would pay him for this course how to make money by getting girls to work on webcam like he did. The problem is that what he describes is textbook definition human trafficking. So some of us, like myself, I guess, that have been following this guy for a number of years, we've known since, I've known since for myself, early 2022, that this guy's a sex trafficker, like openly. And then he blew up on social media, and then all these arrests came, and he started pushing these conspiracy theories of the Matrix and the elites are attacking me. And those of us that have known this guy for a while know this guy is like a very self-confessed human trafficker and has been for a long time.